Hello and welcome back to the Battle Room. I'm, of course, the Battle Room, and today I'm joined by Raghav. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Today I went on a wonderful walk with my dog, and he had a dog fight with the other dogs. They had a race, and he came out on top every time, but today we're covering a different dog fight. A battle of champions. We got the Summit tournament here with Kinugawa, Marco Fiero, Pokey Alex, and Wolfe. This is just the absolute best players from every region. We got two from Europe because I guess they're just that good. But let's get into it, Colin. Like, what are we breaking down today?
Yeah, so the Summit tournament just took place. It was ran by 13 Yoshi 37, also known as Marcus, also known as one of Wolf's best friends. So, and also third in the world as well. Marcus is an incredible player. He decided to host this tournament, like you said, with some of the best players in the world. We're going to be bringing to you some matches later in the week, but if you're fiended, you're ready to go, you want to see some matches, I'll link all of Marcus's stuff down below so you can check out the tournament that he ran. Shout outs to him for running this fantastic event, and I'm hoping they do some more, and it kind of seems like they are. This one was labeled the winter one, so either way, you know, some high level Pokemon during this downtime, I'm here for it. So we got some teams today. We went out of our way. We did something special. We made spreads for the teams. Now, that's not something I normally do, but we have them here today for you. There's only 4, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, just in case you guys wanted to try them out, we put some spreads. And again, disclaimer, these aren't the real spreads. We don't know what they ran for sure. We did make sure to go on stream and look at the available HP stats. So that's what we're working with. But yeah, if you want to give these a run, if you got a tournament coming up or you're just inspired, we've got some spreads for you. And we're going to break down each team.
Yeah, let's hop into Wolf's team first. So we've got this like kind of Glimmora, like Tailwind centric team. Not something I would usually associate with Wolf, but at the same time, like, he has ran Torn, Fluttermane, or Shifu in the past. It's not too surprising, and I do kind of think that.
And Lando, just a different one.
And Lando. So it's not too crazy. It does kind of seem like a change from his other team. But yeah, I made these spreads. So for the Glimmora here, I think you just want to do as much damage as possible. But it was really, really bulky. The HP number was max. So I was like, let's make it bulky. Let's make it fast. Outspeed Raging Bolt if possible, and then just hitting this jump point to do as much damage as possible with this Glimmora. So yeah, I think it's not too bad. But yeah, I think like overall his team is like just obviously super, super aggressive, and Glimmora kind of plays into that.
Yeah, and I think Terra Dragon's an interesting choice. It's not something we've really seen, but it makes sense for the Urshifus, for all those Ogre Pawns, so I don't really mind it at all. And I think if we're looking at what Wolf's used in this format previously, he did win Orlando Regionals with that Tornadus team that you were talking about with Fluttermane and the Lando I. And since he switched that Lando I to a physical Lando T, I think Glimmora makes sense. It fills a similar role to Lando I. It's got like very similar coverage, and with the power herb, it's doing that damage. So this is one of the like meat and bones. Like, this is one of the meaty parts of the team, pun intended, of course. It's doing that special damage next to Tornadus, and Toxic Debris is pretty fucking annoying. So
Yeah.
I think it's a little saucy. It's something different. He wanted to whip out something new for this tournament. So far, I'm respecting it.
And then next up, we've got Ogre Pawn Water. I just tried to make it as bulky and as fast as possible. He was near max HP, so I figured this is the classic jump point. Once again, you hit that 76, and then I just put the rest in bulk. And I wanted to outspeed Shifu naturally. I found that was probably pretty important. But yeah, Ogre Pawn Water is just a good Pokemon. I think it makes a lot of sense on this team as well. It is going to be darker Shifu, so having that water coverage and the follow me is really, really useful. Whether you're in Tailwind just pulling away priority moves, or just, you know, just trying to enable your other Pokemon to deal more damage. And Ogre Pawn does some good damage too.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. Just seems like a more offensive approach to that previous team. Still maintaining redirection. Instead of Amoonguss, we got Ogre Pawn. Like, we're really just rotating the types around. And you're going to see our thought process in real time here. I have a slight edit to the spread. If you move 1 point into the special defense, it is technically more optimal when you Terra Water, because even numbers do better with a +1 stage increase. That's math right there.
I'm thinking we do all of it then. That seems way goated with that Terra Water.
I'm so down. I'm so down. This will be reflected. It'll be reflected, don't worry.
It'll be down there.
But yeah, pretty simple.
Yeah, useful, strong Pokemon. Next up is Tornadus. So I found it kind of interesting that he had 20 HP on a Sash Tornadus. So instantly, that let me know that he was most likely trying to live Surging Strikes from Adamant or Shifu. So that's what I did. It lives Adamant or Shifu Surging Strikes. I put max speed because I think on this team, you definitely like the Sash Thundurus is something that he's used in the past as well. And I think Sash Thundurus is very good because you're able to just kind of use it as an aggressive Bleakwind Storm Pokemon, because I think the flying coverage is so good in this format. So being able to say, hey, I don't need Tailwind, I'll get Tailwind next turn, I just want to deal as much damage as possible with Bleakwind, you're able to do that. So I think max speed is valuable to outspeed the Ogrepons, but then also importantly, he just wants to deal that damage, so I put the rest in special attack after the dump there.
Absolutely. I agree with the logic here, and Tornadus is one of the most annoying Pokemon in the format because its strength is clicking Bleakwind. There's a lack of flying coverage, and the accuracy is just like so scary. So I think you EV'd it perfectly. The speed stat's really crucial in this format because you outspeed Ogerpon by 1 point, so you have to run max speed. And then the rest in special attack makes sense. We see Taunt instead of Rain Dance, which he's run previously. I think it makes sense. You don't really have like Urshifu Water to use Rain Dance, and Taunt is really useful in the format for Amoonguss, Trick Room, just pretty much anything. We're seeing a lot of support Flutter mains, so pretty simple. Terraghost to avoid Fake Out, and yeah, just one of the best mons in the format for speed control and flying coverage.
Yep. And then next up is Landorus T, which is like, I don't know, dude. He feels like he's been popping up more and more as the format goes on. I think he's pretty strong. I think there's a lot of value in Landorus T right now. Having this, it does a ton of damage. It provides that Intimidate. And then also, again, you said lack of flying damage. Landorus T does that. He's got that Terra Blast flying. The physical Landorus as well is really good into the special Landorus because you're able to just hit him way harder than he can hit you with those Sludge Bombs. So yeah, I think Landorus is just kind of well positioned. The spread, max attack, max speed. That's all you really need. That's what he's designed to do. I think you could maybe go Jolly over Adamant to outspeed or
Dealer's choice for sure.
Yeah, dealer's choice for sure.
But yeah, I think there's not much more to add. It's an interesting choice for sure. I'm like half joking when I say he's back because I still think that he has something to prove. Like Lando has to like really show out at these tournaments. But it's been like I want to say a third video in a row that we have Lando T. So there's clearly something cooking, and just I think the strong ground and flying coverage is just really good. This is a little different. It doesn't have U-turn. It's Life Orb. But I think it makes sense with like Torn leads. Just I think the whole like idea with this team is just to deal as much damage as possible, and with very little support. It's just like I'm breaking the type chart and I'm doing damage, and yeah.
Yeah, and then again, it's kind of the same story of Fluttermane here. I think this Fluttermane spread could go different ways. Obviously, we have the max, or we have the HP from Wolfe had it on stream. This is a pretty classic HP number paired with 76. You survive Sucker Punch from Adamant Chien Pao 96% of the time, 94%, whatever that roll is. So that's like usually what the Fluttermanes go. And then I put for a jump point and special attack, I did opt to be a little bit slower. I think maybe you could be faster, so you could outspeed like Ogrepons. But I actually kind of thought it might be very useful to underspeed Tornadus, just so that way he can potentially snipe an Ogerpon or snipe a Follow Me and lets Fluttermane blast something with Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam. But I think you could make it 1 point faster than the Ogerpons as well.
I think you're cooking a little too hard, though.
You think I'm cooking a little too hard?
Too hard. Yeah, I think you should make that 180 at least. Yeah,
180, sure. And then
you can go max special attack from there. Like I know we're so close to the jump point, but it's whatever.
Yeah, that's fair. I do think
180.
Oh yeah, shit. I was one off.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fluttermane, this is all about damage. Like it's a Terra Fairy choice specs Fluttermane. This thing just hits. Icy Wind is the optional filler move. Is pretty cool, pretty interesting. I think it helps with the team just because like the team is so aggressive. I think having that little extra speed control could go a long way if you don't want to bring Torn. So I do respect the Icy Wind. I think it's a good choice.
Yeah, no, I have no issues with this whatsoever. I think it's interesting he had booster special attack before, but is opting to run specs now. He just wants as much damage as possible with this kind of team.
Yeah.
And I don't think you need Protect on this version. You really, again, said it like so many times so far, he's just trying to shit out damage.
And then next up, we've got the Banded Choice Choice Band, Terra Dark, Urshifu, Max Tech, Max
This is
Speed.
nuts.
Yeah, this is kind of a crazy one. Like, I think Urshifu Dark is pretty good in this format. I also love, like, I think pairing Urshifu Dark with something like Glimmora is pretty sick as well, just because, like, naturally he's going to draw a lot of Terra Fairies, and if they end up pressing Terra Fairy, then Glimmora's eaten good, right? Like, I think Glimmora just synergizes really, really well with this team overall, and I think he, you know, like, having that, he also has Poison Jab if he wants to go with that. But yeah, this guy is all about
I think you
damage.
identified the main thing is that it synergizes with Glimmora so well, and obviously, if you don't know and you're new to Pokemon, it hits through Protect. So, that's like what you need in Tailwind. You want to make the most use out of your turns, and when you run Choice Band, Terra Dark, you break the damage calc. So he's just trying to do as much as possible, and with Ogerpon Water already on the team, I like the choice of Dark. I think it's a little less prepared for. And so I think it's just a really strong Pokemon, and perhaps a little bit underused because, you know, his twin is so strong, or Shifu Water is so good. I think people forget about this guy.
Yeah, I think they do. And also, like, he does still have that water typing with this Ogerpon. So I think it's just, like, a really well-rounded team. I actually, when I saw this team, I was like, yeah, I like this team a lot. I actually think he was cooking with it. It was a little unfortunate that he did go 0-2 in the main tournament. But, you know, overall, I think this is a pretty solid team, and definitely something, like, you should consider trying out at least, right? It is Wolfe. Next up, we do have Pokey Alex's team here. So Pokey Alex decided to run kind of a pretty unconventional squad as well. I mean, granted, it's Regulation F, so there's not too much spice here, right? These are all the strong Pokemon. But at the same time, Dragonite is not a popular Pokemon in this format, really, especially on a balanced team like this, and same with Goldengo. So we'll start with the Flutter Mane. This is like the Flutter Mane right now. Taunt, Icy Wind, Moonblast, Thunderwave Flutter. It's just so good. It's so strong. It's so bulky. It just kind of breaks the game. I think a lot of people are very frustrated with it.
Yeah, I think Thunderwave is really popping back up instead of Protect or Dazzling Gleam or whatever else you can run on it. But yeah, this is just a spread from the damage calc itself. It's pretty simple. 1 speed faster than Modest, Flutter Mane, max speed Modest. And yeah, it's bulky, it's speed control, but it's still Flutter Mane. It's still got fairy coverage, which is so good. You don't really need much investment at all. Yeah, it's just a pesky support Pokemon. And Icy Wind and Thunderwave are really important for the rest of this team. Like we have next Urshifu Rapid Strike, which he's also running Choice Band Urshifu. This is the second Choice Band Urshifu we've seen, and we're seeing that, like, it's not cutting it. People are too used to regular Shifu calcs. We need to slap the Choice Band on it.
That's actually insane, but like there is a lot of bulky flutters. Bulky Flutter is just so good right now. So having that little extra damage, it does break the type chart, and it does allow him to get KOs that maybe he shouldn't, right? He's got those juicy banded Surging Strikes. He's also got a nice CC and a juicy U-turn if you do get hit by it. So it's really cool to see Alex running some Choice Band Urshifu here. The spread is pretty simple. Outspeeds Smeargle, and then it's just all about the damage, all about the bulk, right?
It actually speed ties Smeargle.
Oh.
I don't really... I decided it doesn't matter when you have Icy Wind and Taunt, Flutter, and a Goldengo.
Sure, yeah.
So it's really just based on the HP stat. I made it live in Earth Power from Lando I, and then put as much as I could into attack. You could probably mess with the speed stat to whatever's comfortable, but I felt like at least 138, I think, is important for Icy Wind, so you outspeed Shenpao and Flutter Mane. But like you said, you covered all the important things. It does a lot of damage. You can click U-turn if you don't feel comfortable. And it's really good in this format right now, which is kind of foreshadowing some later choices by other players. But U-turn, good move.
Yeah, and we have Terra Ghost as well because it is Choice Band, so you do want to potentially get out of a fake out trap. Then we have AV Incineroar, which I think isn't something we see a lot of, but obviously still very, very potent. It lives everything. It's so hard to KO. And yeah, I think AV is just really, really good in the format. The moveset is obviously going to run U-turn over Parting Shot, and then it's just all attacking moves because the AV. And then the spread is just very, very defensively bulky, right? Like we have the AV, so you're insanely bulky. Special defense-wise, so you compensate a little bit more defense, right? Like it just makes him unkillable and allows him to just pivot basically forever in any matchup.
Yeah, again, the spread's not too crazy. Just a little bit of speed, hit 168 basically in Tailwind or after a Thunder Wave. And yeah, very defensive, a little bit of special defense, made it an even number for the Assault Vest. And yeah, pretty simple with the Terra Grass as well. You're living everything. So I think it's a good choice. It's a unique choice because there's Rillaboom on the team, which would usually hold the AV, but it's all about making unique choices when you're playing against other champions.
It's true, and this one is a pretty cool choice with the clear amulet Rillaboom. Not something, I think it's something you see a little bit, but not something you see every day.
It's been popping up. It's been gaining
Yeah.
popularity.
I think it's just like Intimidate is just so brutal, and it really just cuts back what Rillaboom can do, because I think he is very offensively strong in this format, right? He's very good in Urshifu. He's honestly pretty decent into stuff like Incineroar as well with this high horsepower that we see. He can be good into stuff like Raging Bolt if you can force the Terra, which can be done with Fluttermane and Dragonite on this team. So I think he's just like, it makes sense.
Yeah, with high horsepower, you can force the Raging Bolt Terra yourself by clicking high horsepower. I think people, after replaying Regulation H, are kind of realizing high horsepower's merit in this format, because for a while it was just all U-turn, which makes sense with their Shifu pivoting is like so much more valuable, and when you're like pairing it next to that lefty's Calm Mind Bolt. But when you don't have those things, or you just want to have more aggression into Incineroar or Raging Bolt, I think high horsepower makes a lot of sense. And one of the main issues is getting intimidated, so clear amulet makes sense too. Of course, there's also a lot of Icy Wind in the format, so that you have that going for you too. The spread is nothing crazy, just outspeeding, modest Pelipper, attack jump point, and yeah, just general bulk dump. But I think this is really nice. It's a good set next to Assault Vest Incineroar too, and lets Rillaboom do important damage into those Pokemon like Urshifu, with Fluttermane next to it and protecting your last two saucy little Pokemon.
Next up here we have Golden Go, which is a Pokemon that's just not super relevant or seen as much as you would think in this regulation. It's still pretty strong. It's good into a lot of the common Pokemon, especially stuff like Fluttermane, but it's just not as popular. It's a little bit harder to set up. We've seen it win tournaments in this format, obviously. It is still good, but it's just not as it once was in Regulation H, where it was dominating.
Yeah, and it did see a lot of usage initially in the first stint, but we kind of figured out that it's not as good with Urshifu everywhere, but it's making a comeback right now because of Fluttermane's prominence. I think it's really strong into Fluttermane when they don't have Protect either, and you don't want to just waste that booster energy. So it kind of dissuades leading Fluttermane, and it's just a great setup Pokemon. It's really good into Amoonguss, and I mean, what else is there to say about Golden Go? It's one of the most broken Pokemon ever created. It just has to have the right conditions. And we didn't go anything too crazy here, just max speed, max special attack to pair well with Icy Wind. Terra Flying, interestingly, probably to have more into Lando Eye, while also not being weak to like Rillaboom and stuff. So yeah, I think it's a pretty simple Pokemon, but it's pretty interesting. I like where it's at in the format right now.
Yeah, and so the spread, nothing too crazy like you mentioned. It just is meant to abuse Icy Wind. But yeah, Golden Go's Golden Go, right? Like we have double Fake Out guys to enable him, and he can go kind of nuts. And then finally we have Loaded Dice Dragonite. Now obviously in Reg H, this guy's the king. He goes nuts. Well, he wasn't actually really the king the second time around, but he's still good, still very strong. And
He's still pretty king, dude.
Yeah, and like honestly, the set kind of transfers over, right? Like he isn't necessarily as broken or as splashable to put on any team, but he's very good into the Pokemon he's good into, right? He's very good into the grass guys, specifically Incineroar, grass guys, Incineroar, Rillaboom, Ogerpon. He's also pretty good into Urshifu as well, walling it completely. Both of its stabs can't really touch him. And then he's also very, very good into stuff like Raging Bolt. So he has a really good niche in the format. He puts on a lot of pressure. He can force a lot of Terras. And I think that's what makes him valuable and useful, right? And then with that Terra Steel, he's basically good into the fairies as well. So he can combat things like Fluttermane. So I think he's just kind of a strong Pokemon. And just matches up into the really, really meta stuff.
Yeah, I like that it's self-sufficient. You don't need to bring Golden Go. You can just Terra Steel and Iron Head yourself, making it good into Fluttermane or, Terra Fairy Bolt. I think people are realizing its potential again. I don't think it's going to be everywhere, like you said, but it is a very valuable Pokemon, and it is a little bit of a balance killer. So, yeah, again, simple spread, just max speed, max attack. You kind of need the speed for loaded dice, and you want to do as much damage as possible. So nothing too crazy, but the whole is greater than its parts. You know what I'm saying? They all kind of work together really well. And I'm honestly personally curious to give this one for a spin.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's got a lot of really good Pokemon with a little bit of sauce in the end there. It just looks like a really, really good, solid team, right? Like, you've got Speed Control, you have the Fake Out Brothers plus Urshifu, you have some really strong off-meta sets that I think are super valuable in the format as well. I think Pokey Alex really cooked with this one. And then next up, we've got Marco Fiero running the very, very standard balance team. Yeah, it's very, very similar to what we've seen in the format past. Is obviously the Calm Mind Raging Bolt, which is still Menace, still doing well in these tournaments.
But if you're watching this video right now, you need to write this down because Marco is the king of figuring out the most standard team and figuring out what's the best way to run it and how to run it, right?
True.
This guy is kind of a master of that. We've seen that in every format. So to see him just pull together 6 boring Pokemon, it's not what it seems. You gotta really go into the details and see how he's using them and what sets are correct. Because even the tiniest variations are important. Usually we don't see Flutter, Chien-Pao, and Bolt on the same team. I'm not saying it's like a crazy little, team he's whipped out. But it is cool to see him, we're going to see the Flutter main shortly, but this is a very simple Raging Bolt. Let's just get into it really quick. Mostly bulk, hit the special attack jump point, +1, better with Calm Mind, minimal speed. And yeah, this thing's just, the first time around, if you were there, man, it's just unkillable. It's so stupid. You need dedicated answers to beat this thing, otherwise it will 1v6 your entire team.
It's true. It's got those leftovers too. This is like the bulky one. We've seen some booster energy Calm Mind Bolt as well, but the leftovers one is just truly, truly unkillable. Like, it's actually a demon paired with Rillaboom. It starts to go absurd. Like, you really can just like switch this thing in, take 75%, and then in 3 turns, you're almost back to full. Like, for real. Like, you can just switch them in, take some hits, set up a Calm Mind, and then protect away, right? Like, it's actually nuts. The leftovers go so hard.
It plays different than the booster one, because you want to spam Calm Mind. That's what the lefties is for, right? You want to get as many as possible, and it allows you to run Flutter Mane with booster energy.
And so this is a really crazy Flutter Mane set. We got Moonblast, Taunt, Pain Split, and Thunder Wave. So we're seeing no Icy Wind here whatsoever. It's just a pure utility one. And then we also have this Pain Split, which is like another way. Flutter Mane has a very, very low base HP here. And it's just able to stay healthy, much like the Raging Bolt has the lefties. Pain Split allows it to just make games go longer. You get a heal up. Especially if you hit a big target, you're basically just going back up to full. Not to mention, we also have Intimidate and we also have Grassy Terrain. So the Flutter Mane is just living forever. This guy is hard to kill.
Yeah, it's a saucy little set. I've tested a little bit and I do enjoy it. I think it's interesting not to have Icy Wind, but it makes sense when you look at the rest of this team. Thunder Wave is even better speed control, and you're kind of trying to stick around. When you have that lefties Calm Mind Bolt, you have this bulky Flutter Mane. I think it actually makes sense. The value of Thunder Wave really goes up the longer the games are. And so yeah, you just run a bold Flutter Mane, stay as fat as you can, get some Pain Split recovery, but it also does damage the opponent. So it has a dual function there. And then you obviously maintain Taunt, because Taunt's really good at supporting Flutter Mane. Raging Bolt. A lot of times their best option is to taunt you, to spore you, to parting shot you. So Flutter Mane's really good at supporting his buddy Bolt. And it's just supposed to be the most annoying Pokemon you've ever played against. And if you think you can kill it with Urshifu, you're wrong, because it's fat. But also, Terra Grass. Boom, you're fucked. So I think this is a pretty simple Flutter Mane, but very effective.
Yeah, and I think like it just enables, like you said, the rest of the team, whether it's Thunder Waves, Taunts, or a Pain Split. It's just really, really obnoxious. It also gives you a nice Fairy type, and it gives you an awesome speed ceiling. Next up, we have Chien-Pao. There's not too much to say. Ice Shard is kind of a cool choice. Like, there's no Dark move on this guy, which is kind of wild. It's also Terra Grass to ignore Rage Powder or Amoonguss. I guess also to take a Surging Strike's better if they are Mystic Water or Choice Band. But yeah, it's kind of a weird set, but I think it kind of works here. Icicle Crash is your big damage, Ice Shard for priority, Sacred Sword, and Protect. And then obviously the spread is pretty simple. It is very, very important. Don't ever forget, you need to put that 4 in defense, otherwise you won't take a Surging Strikes 100% of the time. It's a big deal.
Yeah, there is a little bit of, room to innovate on Chen Pao, whether it's its moves or its spreads, but can't forget that 4 defense.
Yeah.
I think Grass is cool because you don't have redirection. All you have is Taunt on Flutter Mane, and so you really do want to make sure you have enough for Among Us. But like you said, it's pretty simple otherwise. I like Ice Shard. Since the games are going longer, you're trying to get chip, you're trying to do damage trades, and Ice Shard's really nice. It doesn't rely on them attacking, and I think it's just a really, really good move. I always hate playing against it when they have them because I'm just never expecting it,
True, yeah. It is really nice that obviously Sucker Punch has, you have to attack. Ice Shard doesn't care about that. So sometimes you can grab that like 1 HP Flutter Mane that's about to Pain Split you or Taunt you or whatever, right? Or Thunderwave you.
Yeah.
So you can just remove it. I think it's a cool choice in the current format. Next up, we have AV Rillaboom. There is not much to say here. Again, we are seeing all this high horsepower, though. High horsepower seems to be where Rillaboom is trending.
Making a comeback.
Yeah. U-Turn just is not as popular anymore. And obviously, he does have, like, the Fake Out Brothers. He's got a lot of Pokemon that do benefit from pivoting around a lot. But just opting for that ground coverage is just more important right now than being able to U-Turn into your Incineroar.
Yeah, I think since Marco has such bulky and like kind of slow play with those first 2 slots, he wants to round it out with a little bit more damage. So he's not like getting crit all the time, not making any progress. We see that with the Chen Pao, like Sword of Ruin really enables these last 3 Pokemon. And real quick, Ice Shard's also really good into Tornadoes, like because they're trying to set up Tailwind on that last turn of Sash, and you can't Sucker Punch that. So Ice Shard's really useful there. But also obviously enabling Rillaboom. High horsepower is doing even more. Doesn't have the clear amulet like Pokey Alex does, but with Sword of Ruin, you're still doing a shit ton. So I think it makes a lot of sense. You just really want to kill opposing Raging Bolt and Incineroar. And not much to add, honestly.
Yeah, next up here we got Urshifu. He makes a lot of sense paired with Chien-Pao, paired with Rillaboom. Even the Flutter Mane as well. A lot of Mystic Water, I'm noticing. Sash Urshifu was kind of the thing at the end of Regulation F, but now, since it's come back, I've noticed it as well. Mystic Water is the go-to. You're trying to break the calc. That's really what it is a lot of the time. Everything, like you mentioned earlier in the video, is all about living that Surging Strikes. So now, you're like, hey, if they live my Surging Strikes, let's see if they can live a Mystic Water Surging Strikes, right? Let's take it up a notch.
And Mystic Water next to Sword of Ruin.
Yeah, next to Sword of Ruin, right? So it's all about that multiplier. The set is pretty boring. It is just a very, very bulky Urshifu spread.
Yeah, I decided to make it as fat as possible. There might be some room to adjust the speed stat next to Thunderwave, but I figured with no Icy Wind, you kind of just want to go all bulk while maintaining, a good amount of attack. This lives a Moonblast from these like Flutter Manes that are kind of popping up right now, like just Timid 4 special attack. I believe it lives up to 36 special attack, almost like 15 out of 16 times. So you stay really fat. Obviously, you live Earth Power. Great chance to live Clap from Raging Bolt that isn't boost your energy. And yeah, it's just a really bulky Urshifu. And again, you don't have redirection, so it's really nice to have it be as bulky as possible, not, a sponge, or sorry, not be super frail.
True. And then finally, rounding it out is the Incineroar, which is also impish as well with the Citrus Berry. I feel like a lot of the Incineroars are going pretty slow right now, so there's not really like a Incin speed war going on. I think people are just accepting that they're going to be slow and they'd rather get those extra points right now. So it makes sense. Otherwise, the moveset, it's Tails oldest time, right? Fake Out, Knock Off, Flare Blitz, Parting Shot. It's just the bread and butter Incin set.
Yeah, I'm not assuming any sauce on this guy with the spread. Just kept it really simple. It's Incin. It ties the whole team together. You need to pivot with this Raging Bolt. Fake Out Surging Strikes. You know how it is, dude.
Fake Out Calm Mind, right? Like, it's just so good. He also importantly enables Flutter Mane even more so to become unkillable. Makes Raging Bolt unkillable. Makes Urshifu unkillable. This guy is just... He's just the
does
go,
decent
dude.
damage, especially next to Pow. It's just simple. Gives you that dark coverage. Yeah.
Got the knockoff because we don't have the dark coverage here. Makes sense. And then finally, we have the champion, Kinugawa, once again. Dude, he's just so good. He's too good.
Too fucking good, dude.
and he wins it with this insane Iron Bundle theme. I don't think I've seen Iron Bundle in this format, like literally once. I genuinely don't know if I've ever seen it, but he decided to whip him out here in this invitational. Tell me about him, bro. Tell me about Iron Bundle. Why is he good?
So why is he good? Because Icy Wind is awesome. It's faster than Fluttermane, so you get the fastest Icy Wind in the game. It's really good into Landorus, which is a really annoying Pokemon. I feel like people underestimate how annoying Landoi can be. It also has Freeze Dry for Shifu, which is really good. I think that coverage is just amazing into Rillaboom, into Urshifu, into Amoonguss, into Lando. The Genie's Torn. So it's kind of an unexpected piece to have such a high speed ceiling with that offensive coverage. But it also has got Encore, which is really interesting. I think, it just, if you get Raging Bolt in the wrong spot, you can just Encore that Calm Mind. Obviously, it's good into Pokemon after it protects. So I think it's just like an unprepared for choice. And he whipped it out the right time against the other champions. I bet you they weren't thinking Iron Bundle was going to be in play. They didn't calc for Freeze Dry. They didn't expect to have to deal with its Icy Wind and Encore. No, they were expecting some boring Fluttermane. Instead, we got Iron Bundle, the Christmas-themed Pokemon.
So the moveset is pretty simple, like we talked about. Freeze Dry, Icy Wind, Encore, Protect. And then it had a lot of HP, which I found really surprising. We did get to see his HP number. And so we doubled down in the bulk. Raghav tried to make him as bulky as possible. He's got actually a really good defensive stat. Like, his stats are pretty good. It's really just in the special defense where he's lacking. So we tried to make up for that.
No, I'll keep it real. I have no idea what he's running. I think only if you are Kinugawa, you would know what it does, or if he ever reveals his secret spreads, we'll get a better idea. But I really wasn't sure where to go with this. I think the speed's nice to always be the fastest Icy Wind. We know the HP, and you're just trying to stick around, maintain your speed control and Encore. You don't need Hydro Pump on this set. Also, we didn't talk about that because you got Lando and Urshifu on your team. So, yeah, I think it's just supposed to be really annoying, and the best way to figure out how to use it is to use it and just figure out what's working.
True. Yeah, like you can adjust the spreads. I do think one of the best parts, though, is that speed, of course. It does outspeed all booster flutters, which I think in this format is extremely valuable for Iron Bundle. Next up, we have Urshifu.
100%.
Once again, Urshifu Water, again with the Mystic Water, again with Terra Steel, but this time opting to run no close combat and instead running U-turn, which I think is pretty cool. I think it makes a lot of sense here.
Yeah, and we talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
I said we talked about U-turn being a very good move.
yeah. I mean, it is a great move. You also have two amazing pivots to go into anytime you want. Yeah, and you don't really need the fighting coverage when you just blast them with Surging Strikes. The spread itself is pretty simple, just about damage and just general bulk. It lives the Lando EP, and then it's just Speed Tie Smeargle.
Yeah, again, we don't give a shit about Smeargle on this channel. It's gonna be fine. You got Taunt, you got Bundle, and you mentioned the important parts about the spread. I just think U-turn's really, really good. I think it's really nice to be able to U-turn Rillaboom, get out of those pesky spots, and not have to drop your defenses if you want to hit the grasses. So I think it's pretty cool, and it makes a lot of sense with this Icy Wind Bundle. We got the next big damage guy. Now, this spread was throwing me off. All right, we take a look at it. We know he had 140 HP, but if they just ran 132, we could put the 4 in defenses, but we can't now. So we're doing this, and it could be wrong, but I think this might be what he had. You hit the special attack jump point, which is really important, and then you stay max speed modest to outspeed Adamant Urshifu, modest Chi-Yu, Glimmora, Rillaboom. So I think it's a good speed set to hit. I think people have experimented with a little bit slower, but I really don't like going any slower than max speed modest.
Yeah, I mean, Landorus is he's all about the damage, right? It even has Sancier Storm or something like Sludge Bomb. This is damage, and he's dealing damage. That's really it, honestly.
Yeah,
Terra Poison.
C-sub, but... Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you're good. He's just got Terra Poison for Sludge Bomb, and yeah, I think it's just mostly damage. I think Sancier, or just having more damage makes a lot of sense, right, when you have Intimidate. And also, he does have Eerie Impulse as well, which is pretty cool. So I think he just doesn't need the utility that sub provides, I think he can find a way to make Landorus live longer than it normally should with his debuffs.
Yeah, I think Sanseer is such a funny move if you hit. Like, it's just so much damage.
It's so good. It's so funny and ironic too, because it literally just removes like the fun burn part of it too, like the cool part. They're like, yeah, dude, it's just all about just dealing damage. Next up is Incin. This one is Shuckaberry Incineroar, which is pretty cool because it's very good in the Landorus mirror. But we got Flare Blitz, Knockoff, Parting Shot, and Fake Out, the standard set. And then the spread, you decided to get a little spicy with this one.
Okay, so it might not be adamant, but I made it adamant because you want to do as much damage as possible, and you have Shuckaberry, so you're already living Earth Power. I think living Surging Strikes is just really, really hopeful without Citrus Berry, and he already has Terra Water, so I thought, why not lean into the attack a little bit? You have a lot of speed control with Icy Wind and Thunder Wave, and being able to, like, you know, do more damage into these bulky Flutter Mains, kill Rillaboom, stuff like that, seems pretty valuable on a team like this. So I decided to make it adamant, a little bit of speed, and just general bulk. Yeah, so I think Shuckaberry is really cool. I think, again, Lando is just such a piece of shit. I think it's nice to have as many tools as possible into it.
I agree, yeah. And I think Shucka is, like, it just allows you, like, on that one turn where you do take the Earth Power, it just gives you so much momentum sometimes. Whether you're parting shotting their Lando, or knocking it off, or just killing the opponent and, like, knocking out the other partner too, right? Like, it just gives you so much momentum on the turn that I think sometimes just having the Shuckaberry is worth it. Obviously, it's not going to proc every game, and it can be kind of annoying, but like we said, also with these Rillabooms, dude, they're all running high horsepower, including Kinugawa's own Rillaboom, and so having the Shuckaberry does just give you a little bit more bulk in that regard as well. Next up is Rillaboom.
Yeah.
Again, nothing too crazy. The HP was pretty nuts though. Seeing the 156 was crazy. Like, I was like, man, he's got to be cooking. He's got to be fast, right? So you just kind of went into that and just made him max speed.
Yeah, I made him max speed to abuse that Icy Wind. I think you need to be max speed to catch things like Chien-Pao or Flutter Mane. And yeah, I think he's trying to catch people off guard and slam them with the hammer or high horsepower, and use Rillaboom in a more damaging way than usual. And like we saw with all the other Rillabooms, there's no U-turn. Everyone's opting for high horsepower because you want your support pieces to also do damage. High horsepower is just so well positioned. And yeah, we dumped the rest that we had in attack. I'm not sure if there's a specific calc you need to be, you know, you can probably take like 1 point out of attack, put in special defense, as we've talked about, with having those nice even numbers for Assault Vest, Choice Band, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a unique choice, and I'm kind of curious to see how it plays. Like, fast Rillaboom isn't something we've seen in this format, but I think it could be really, really cool.
Yeah, especially like one of the things I always talk about is like in open sheets, right? Like, there's just not many ways to be creative, but sometimes something like this could be huge, right? Like, just catching someone off guard and one-shotting a Chien-Pao, or catching a Flutter Mane, right? That's max speed. You're not expecting it, right? Like, if they're not boosters. So I think it's just kind of a cool tech that you can just throw people off guard. And I feel like Kinugawa is like, he runs some weird Rillabooms. Like, I feel like he's ran max speed Rillaboom before. And yeah, it just makes sense. I think it's just a good Pokemon on this team.
He's just a sauce master.
He's a sauce master. I think it pairs well with Icy Wind and, of course, with Thunder Wave. And we've got Thundurus, who, again, is a Pokemon that is just not... This guy is just virtually unseen at all, dude. I don't know the last time I saw Thundurus, especially in this format. I feel like its value is not as appreciated, right? Like, I've seen it a little bit in those restricted formats that we have to play every single year. But in this one, no, not really. So... tell me about him. I know you're a big Thundurus fan.
Dude, I love Thundurus. I've tried to make it work in every format it's been legal, and it's been this set for the most part since Dynamax. I think Eerie Impulse is just so good. It's good into Flutter Mane, obviously. It's good into Raging Bolt. It's good into opposing Lando. Even though you can't touch it, it makes it a much easier time for the rest of your Pokemon. And then Wild Bull Storm, it is wildly inaccurate, but it's the same logic as Sanseer. You know, you hit around redirection, and that might be enough for Urshifu. Urshifu next to a Moongus or Ogerpon is so annoying that being able to hit through that is really, really nice. Obviously, you have Thunder Wave and Taunt. It's classic Thundurus moves. Makes it super annoying again. I don't think you have like the flinch, like the para flinch combo, but you do just have Thunder Wave. The move's awesome. I think it's a really, really unique choice. and I'm really happy to see it succeed because he's one of my boys, dude. The goggles, I guess, extra help for Among Us, and the spread is simple. I just left it a calm nature while living a Terra Water Surging Strikes from a Scarf or Shifu. Yeah, I think its spread isn't the interesting part. It's just like Eerie Impulse and Thunder Wave being a unexpected disruptive Pokemon.
Yeah, and I think like it's one of those things too that like Eerie Impulse is a very very strong move. Like it's really nuts, and sometimes just not like you're not prepared for it. You're not thinking about it. You're like, oh dude, what if my Landers goes down to -2? It's not something you're prepared for, and I think it can just be really really potent in the right hands. And obviously Kinugawa, one of the best players in the world, if not potentially the best, with this back-to-back W, wins LAIC. And then he won this little summit thing, which I thought was pretty cool against 3 other amazing, amazing players. So congrats to Kinugawa once again. Honestly, at this point, he's the GOAT, bro. He's the GOAT of the channel. We just keep reviewing him, glazing him, and he just keeps succeeding, dude. I'm excited to see. I want to see how far this guy can go. I want to see if he can win Worlds, you know? I think he's just so strong, and his confidence is at an all-time high.
Yeah, clear best player in the world, and his team building choices are very interesting. I think that's always exciting. Sometimes we have really, really good players who don't use the most exciting teams, but dude, he never disappoints. We got Flamigo, we got Bundle, we got Thundy on the channel. Like, I feel like we're all happy here.
Dude, he's crazy with it. The bundle too. Like the Thundurus is crazy. The bundle, he's got 4 standard guys in the middle, but yeah, he's using Pokemon that no one else. Like literally, I bet you. If we didn't, I bet we could look at the other Reg F tournaments that have already occurred, and I don't think there's probably a single bundle or Thundurus being used in them. Obviously, after this, there might be, but he is just like, he's on another level of meta development. But yeah, I think it's really sick. These teams were cool. It was a really fun tournament. We're going to be reviewing some of the sets on the channel. We'll be talking about the teams. We'll probably be testing out some of the teams on the channel. So if you guys want to see some of that content, please comment and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.